Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. All right, let me just turn this down. Sorry, we're a little bit laggy. There we go. Hope you guys are all good. I'm just going to start sharing my screen now. Let me know in the comments how your week has been. So I actually have multiple trading accounts. This account I only started a couple weeks ago. Taken 2 losses on it, but we're gonna just slowly build it back up. It's not the one that I trade on every day. I'm currently in a buy for Euro USD right now, which I know is a little bit risky because we have got red folder news in half an hour, guys, so just be wary. But I want to talk you through this particular trade, and there was actually something that I wanted to speak to you guys about today, which was about risk management. Just because I've been having quite a lot of conversations with people who've been asking for advice when it comes to prop firm trading. So right, let's draw up our daily trend line. So when I draw trend lines, we're going to start on the higher time frame. So we're just going to draw daily right here. Gonna color code them so you guys know what time frame each trend line is on. Princess Rachel, you're in a Euro USD buy too. Amazing. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to talk you guys through this particular trade. So this right here is the daily trend line. We did have more steeper trend lines, but as you can see, they kept getting broken. So then finally we're over here. So we don't need that trend line. This is the daily trend line. And let's have a look on the opposing side. This is currently on the daily, this is our triangle that we're looking to basically exhaust. And then what you'll see when you're trading trend lines is when this happens, we're either going to have a big break to the upside or we're going to have a big break to the downside. So we're taking a buy kind of basically around the trend line down here. And then let's drop down the time frame. So let's have a look at the 4 hour. So 4 hour and daily are going to be pretty much the same, but this was basically what I was looking at. Was long in gold but changed today. Yes, so gold does seem to be coming down today. We'll go through a bit of analysis on gold. I'm in a sell on another account for gold. But we're kind of playing around here a little bit, but you know, we're in the trade now, so I'm just allowing it to go. So this is the 4 hour. So this was 4 hour structure. We did have originally like this, so my 4 hour is going to be green, but obviously we broke. And when we break, what we do with our trend lines is we start to move them over. So we go like this, and that's basically where we're at now. We had a 4 hour break above this trend line, but this yellow one is our 1 hour. 40%. What's 40%, Caden? Oh, you lost 40%. If that's true, I'm really sorry. Let's see how it unfolds. Waiting to the red folder news. Yep, exactly. We you know, it's a little bit slow, but we've got New York that's just opened. Let's have a look as well on the 1 hour. So right now, potential counter trend line is, so we had all of this stuff here. We could have a counter trend line like this. So this is our safety line for our buys. If you're trading with trend lines, we have to have, we need to know when to pull out, because I know some people who trade trend lines, they're just holding forever, hoping it's going to go the right way. But we still want to trade really responsibly. Can't get my words out. But yeah, so obviously if you're going to trade off the trend lines here, then that is your safety line over there. I took this based off our 1 hour, so we got all of this break to the upside here. We got a retest on this 1 hour. So originally, again, it was like here. Then we can start moving this out, just like this. So we are getting that move up, but we just need a little bit more volume to really push this up now. And because I did enter this on the 1 hour, we've got a 1 hour safety line here as well. So if you wanted to be kind of like extra safe, then we're going to have to come out the trade if it comes back across this trend line here. But yeah, so God, sorry guys. Don't know what's going on with my voice. I'm not ill or anything. It's just too much talking. We just need a bit more volume, don't we? So 4 hour, 4 hour for me is giving me that bullish structure, but we could kind of see this wick down, close back up here, then continue up. Where is my stop loss? Okay, my stop loss is over here, which is on the other side of the safety line. We'll just have to wait and see, guys. We'll have to wait and see. When someone was like to me the other day, should we pull out early? For me, unless it's super clear within the structure that it's really going against you, then yeah, okay, come out early. But right now, 1 hour, it really could go either way. 4 hour for me is bullish. We've had a lot of breaks to the upside, so I'm gonna just hold. Like the way the chat is calm. I want to see what we will do in CPI. Yes, it'll be interesting. First pump and then dump for CPI. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe now gold. Oh, actually, no, I actually came out of gold because I was break even. So yeah, let's have a look on gold. Yeah, my entry was around here, I think, and we technically should have got a 1 to 2, but the way that I'm trading at the moment is when I go 1 to 1, I go break even. When I go 1 to 2, we can bring our stops. To be fair, I should have actually come out in a bit of profit, but I think it would have just been break even. I just wasn't monitoring it. When my trade gets to 1 to 2, I'm going to then move my stop loss to my 1 to 1 so that I will still come out in profit. Just so that you guys are aware, like I'm a day trader, so I'm not, for me, I don't really care so much about holding trades. I'm just trying to make sure that I get profit. But yeah, let's have a little rundown of gold. Let's start again. Let's start again and I'll work my way down. Okay, so let's zoom out. Let's have a little look. Let's see what's going on. I'm just going to start this again so that you guys can see. We've had a very, very healthy pullback on gold. It's been a long time coming, guys. I feel like we have been extending for so long in gold. So it's probably about time that we had this move down. But, overall, gold is still bullish for me, but we're just having this pullback. This is all on the 4 hour, by the way. And then we got our 4 hour here. We're right on the verge of things. Let's just make sure that we're actually touching. Okay, so we can move it out a tiny bit because we had like a bit of a fake out there. So here's our 4 hour, which is probably going to be very, very similar to our daily. Yeah. So there's our daily and 4 hour. I like the 1 hour entries. Hate anything lower, really. Yeah, so Princess Rachel, love the name, by the way. Yes, I do trade market structure, but the first thing that I always do is my trend lines. So once I'm, getting into the trade, this is where market structure plays a part, but I'm just stripping it back and showing you guys from the top. So that's why I'm showing you guys how I'm drawing up my trend lines. Okay, so here's our 1 hour. Let's see if we can try and join it from here. This was our 1 hour, which we've been breaking through. So now we're here on the 1 hour. So we're right on the 1 hour upwards trend line right now. And then we've got our counter trend line here. So these trend lines are creating that triangle. And those triangles are a really, really good indication for those bigger moves, because when we exhaust that triangle, we can then see whether we're going to get a big push up or we're going to get a big push down. So we're getting to the end here, but it's moving relatively slow. Probably everyone's waiting and anticipating for CPI. But yeah, so let's have a little look. So market structure on gold, for me, we're very bullish on the 1 hour. This was the last low. It really did extend. So I can see it, pulling back a little bit. We've got a few gaps on the 1 hour as well. So let me just mark them up. One. It's a bit of a small one here, but it is still one. So potential areas for price to pull back into. But yeah, let's have a look on the 4 hour, because on the 4 hour, it's all a bit subjective if you want to class this as a high. That got broken, but even if you don't want to class this as a high, this was definitely a high, and this got broken. So on the 4 hour, if you're going to go off by the 4 hour, really this can go one or two ways, because 1 hour structure is bearish, but that is just the pullback on the 4 hour. But yeah, I'm not going to count these like little moves here. So for me, this was the high that we broke above. This was the last low. So unless we come down to break this low here, I'm actually very open to buys on gold. But we just, obviously, you've got to be wary and fully aware that we are buying straight into a 4 hour and a daily trend line. So there's a lot of sell side liquidity there, basically. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And this is for me where I'll drop down, because I know someone said that they don't like dropping down the time frames. I like the higher time frames for that overall bias, but like for me to get a really good entry and have a relatively small stop loss, I like being able to drop down the time frames and see what's going to happen before it happens. But it's the trick to using the lower time frames is actually knowing when to be dropping down. So yeah, like we've on the 1 hour right now, we've created this low, we need some structure really for, if you're going to trade off the 4 hour bias, you don't want to be even dropping down or looking at anything lower until we break this high. So we've got quite a long way to go yet, because we really did extend. So for me, for gold, we probably aren't going to get a position anytime soon. But yeah, so for me to take a buy, then we're coming up here, and then it's a bit more confirmation for me that we are going to go up, because then if we actually break above here, we get a break on the 4 hour above here. That's a 4 hour breakout. For me, this is why I like to wait for those confirmations. Okay, just gonna read some of your comments. So how do we enter the giveaway? So I just basically pick 3 people who are on the live stream at the end of the stream. So if you're not here, then I have to give it to someone else. But make sure you're liking the live, sharing the live, and yeah, you're just going to be picked at random. Structure is still bearish. But yeah, so Sade, what are you talking about? Gold? I stopped at 5 minutes. I think CPI going high. Can you show us how to backtest on Think Market software? Yes. So if you want to backtest, guys, honestly, I absolutely love this feature. If you look here to the left, is something called the Trader's Gym. And you can literally create a simulation. So you can see here, I think I was doing different strategies on different ones, but you can see the way that it prints. Oh, let me have a look at it. Okay, let's have a look here. Yeah. It's very different to TradingView, because you actually see it doesn't just print. On TradingView, the candle will literally just print. So it doesn't really feel like you're actually trading, whereas you can see the movement on here. So I really love this feature, because I always used to do FX replay, and you have to pay for that, whereas with this you obviously don't. Okay, so gold for me right now, you guys know what I'm looking for, you know what I'm waiting for. Okay, you want me to do back testing? We're just looking through at the different different things that I trade, just in case there is something. But yeah, so for me, nothing right now on gold. We just got to be patient and wait for that to actually show. I also like looking at silver. So silver did actually kind of break. Oh, not really. I mean, we did get this breakdown here in this 4 hour. Then it came back up. So I'm actually going to move this out a little bit. Don't know why it was like that anyway. That was already wrong. So this is the thing with trend lines. You've got to make sure you've got them on right. Otherwise, you're just going to get the wrong thing. And then it's on the other side. Just out of curiosity, guys, how much do you guys like to risk when you're trading? Is it 1%, 0.5? But yes, Sage, it's an amazing feature. Okay, so let's have a look at the 4 hour. Like I said, right now, 4 hour, we're in a little bit of a consolidation zone here. Sorry, we've got a trend line coming down, trend line coming up, and we are coming to the end of this triangle. So it's going to be interesting when we come to the end. These trend lines, I know some people are against it, but for me, you know, I see them play out time and time again. You just have to know how to trade them, because just using trend lines for me is not very profitable. You have to use market structure, you have to understand market structure, you know, different time frames. That's what's going to enable you to, you know, have a higher probability and a more low risk type of trade. Everyone's saying 0.5, 2 to 3%, 1%. Amazing. Well, the majority of you are, you know, trading really, really responsibly. Someone had messaged me and they had a 5K funded account and they were literally using 1.0 lot sizes. So I was like, whoa, you're literally risking like so much. And the reason why he was doing that, he said, was so that he could get funded quicker. Now, I just want to give you guys a little bit of advice. There is no point behaving that way. Trade how you would trade from the beginning. Like all of this stuff where people are like, yeah, I'm just doing it to get funded quicker. You'll get funded and then you'll lose it just as quick. So make sure you are trading properly from the get-go, even when you're in a challenge phase, because trading is so much more about managing your emotions, not letting greed run away with you, not having that emotion of like, yay, I passed my challenge really quickly. If you feel that, then I'm going to tell you now, you're going to go into that challenge and you will end up blowing it because you're excited. And I know this from experience. I know this from, you know, working with beginners. So yeah, just a little bit of a tip for you guys. But yeah, 0.5 and 1% is what I do. I'm not ill, by the way, guys. I don't know what's wrong with my throat. I feel like maybe it's because I'm talking too much. Okay, so for silver, we're kind of like, you know, breaking that high. We're kind of playing around this low. So right now, you know, it's a bit hard to know which way silver is going. We have been moving, you know, aggressively down, creating structure. You can see it here quite clean. So it'll be interesting to see if we actually come further down. But yes, he was absolutely gambling. But yeah, we just got to be patient. We just got to wait. Like I said, there's nothing here for us right now. Okay, so let's have a look at GBP USD. That is something that I also like to trade. And then we'll have a look at NAS 100, which is an NQ. So let's just start from the beginning here. We've got a downwards trend line on the 4-hour, which, you know, now we are over here, we can move out. But we have also got much steeper trend lines as well. Yeah, GBP USD does look like it is going to be continuing down. Just gonna zoom out and have a look on the daily quickly. Yeah, feel like you can see it here, can't you, where it's like slightly starting to come down now. So there's our daily. So this is what we keep that trend line there. We don't get rid of it. We literally just move it out like this. So we're very, very close to this daily trend line. Last week we rejected off it. Now we're back here again. And we've also, this green is also a daily trend line as well. So you can see we're very close to the end here. So we're going to break through, but obviously this is a daily. If you're going to be trading on the daily time frame, you can't be trading that specific setup unless you're, you know, willing to drop down and have the correct stop loss. But until this actually breaks out, then we don't know if it's breaking out on the daily. We're a little bit further. You can see here we're not quite there on the 4-hour. NAS will fly, gold will dump. Yep, I was kind of waiting for gold to push down a little bit more. I was in an NQ buy this morning, so I'll talk you guys through that when we get there. But yeah, so this is obviously where we're at right now. There's nothing currently for us to be, unless you want to have a start from this point here. This is on the 4-hour. So we got a little bit of room to come down to this daily trend line. So yeah, potential 4-hour breakout. And this again is when market structure really comes into play, guys, because we can see here 4-hour market structure is bearish, but we currently been extending. So we could wait until we get some type of pullback and then enter for a sell. But yeah, we are literally about to have red folded news. Oh, I think I'm gonna have to come out of that trade, guys, just in case it does anything too crazy, which is annoying. But I don't want. I need to trade responsible here, because we can't enter or exit a trade. I think it's like 5 or 10 minutes before and after red folder news is released. So no, I can't trade on news. My balance is in drawdown, guys. This isn't my main. I have multiple accounts. This isn't one that I'm using like every single day. But yeah, waiting for the news to be released. Let that settle for 10 minutes and then we can then see where we're at. Okay, but yeah, so GBP/USD potential looking for sales. Let's have a look on the 1-hour. So yeah, we're all in the extension on the 1-hour. Too many lines. I'm confused. Okay, I don't know how long you've been here for, but I've literally started talking you guys through all the things of the like all the trend lines. Is confusing when you first look at it, but just don't like let yourself assume that you're confused. It's not that confusing. This is so I've like color coded it. The green is a 4-hour trend line. But yeah, I'm not gonna go back over literally everything that I've just gone over. So I'm just gonna continue and just explain. But yeah, it's annoying because we were in a buy. On Euro USD. And it's just pushed up. We got the volume that we needed, but I can't obviously trade because we got to follow the rules. It's happened before, even when I was like risk free. News completely, it spiked me out at break even, and obviously that's against the rules within the first 5 or 10 minutes. So we're just gonna wait and see. But yeah, you guys saw that I was in this buy. This is what we wanted, because we had all of these breaks. So we had break of this trend line here, break of this trend line, and we're getting that market structure of them pullback. So I entered around here. My stop loss was here. Now we've got that big older push, which is what we needed. Oh, is it 2 minutes? I think I might be getting a bit confused. Maybe it is 2 minutes. I'm thinking of maybe something else, another brand. Not another brand, another company. But yeah, so if it's 2 minutes, then you're still in the buy. You know what? I was just a bit nervous about risking, just because, we could have easily come down first and then pushed up. But yeah, well done, Rachel. Well done. Okay, so yeah, 2 minutes before and 2 minutes after. So now we can look. But yeah, I didn't want to risk it. I didn't. Why you get out? Because just in case it went the other way. Because if it went the other way first and spiked me out, I would have lost my account. Whereas I just got to be safe. Yeah, I can see that. Obviously, look how it went. It's all easy, well and good saying look how it went, but you wouldn't be saying that if you lost your account. Okay, so 1 hour we've shot right up, and yeah, as much as the lines are confusing, we can get rid of this one because it broke through. This is how perfect it is. We broke out, we're literally retesting, coming back to this trend line, and we're moving along it, and then that big push up, which is what we needed. Don't if you're not sure. What do you mean, Gray? But yeah, it is what it is. Like, we have to just trade safely. I've just been on the other end. I've been on the other end of it where it's gone against me first and then gone straight my way, but because it was literally within, you saw how quickly that moved. If that had gone the other way, it would have taken me out at my stop loss. I would have lost my account. So for me, it's just not worth it. So I'm just gonna, I've been there, I've done that, so we'll just have to wait now. I'm not fussed. It's all right. Let's have a look at NQ actually. Oh, yeah, this was the move that I was waiting for. So, this morning I'm going to show you guys exactly how I use liquidity highs and lows to enter my trades. So, what's the date today? It's the 24th. Okay. So we're going to mark up Asia highs and Asia lows. I was in this buy on NQ as well, but I came out earlier with only a 1-to-1, which was a bit sad, but yes, exactly that. There's always going to be another entry. You just have to just go down to the lower time frames, enter on those pullbacks, and then you get in. You don't have to have FOMO. Okay, so highs and lows of Asia. I'm just talking you through the trade that I took this morning. There's the lows, and where are the highs? It's really confusing. 7. Is it here? Why is that? That looks so different. It looks really different to Oanda on TradingView. But I entered and it worked out. But yeah, so maybe that was where it was. But yeah, my highs and lows are usually, because that's at 6 a.m. No, so Asia, I'm getting confused with the time on here as well. 6, so that would be 7. I think so it's 1 hour behind. Okay, so that actually would have been its first. That's the first candle of pre-London, not Asia session anymore. Quite a big price jump for. Yeah, it's crazy. Look at it go. But yeah, we were in buys for NAS this morning, but this is also another way that I like to use market structure. So, we mark up the highs and the lows of the Asia session and we wait for a reaction to happen. So when it gets to either the high or the low, we're waiting for a breakout or a rejection. Here we got a breakout. So now we can drop down to the lower time frame. So if we have a look on the 15 minutes, so let me just see, so that's 6. Okay, so on the 15-minute, so this is what you'll see. All of these pullbacks, well, no, not pullbacks, but like this downward trend line on the 15-minute, which is what you want to see every single time. Well, to be fair, nothing here created a support. Not that's not a support. It's not aligned with each other until here. This moment here is where we created our support. So when it gets to here, we can then drop down to the 5-minute to get our entry. Wow. Look at it go. Okay, so once this was printed, 8:15, so we can drop down to the 5-minute. Then we've got our entry here. When we break structure on the 5-minute, go below those lows. Then we can target our 1 to 2, which would have just been here. I don't really do US 30. You know what? I kind of stopped trading too many different things because this for me was something that was just getting me a bit overwhelmed because I was getting alarms going off all at the same time because I feel like quite a lot of the things that I trade, I trade gold, silver, NQ, they all move quite similar to each other. Then I trade Euro USD, GBP USD. So I would keep getting alarms, and then I was trying to enter all of these trades, and it was too overwhelming having even more because I was looking at US 30, I was looking at Bitcoin, I was looking at USD, JPY. I was like, oh my god, this is just too much. I've just chosen the ones that I like to trade and I'm sticking to them. So I definitely would suggest that you guys do the same. But yeah, so right now what we're going to wait on is that pullback, but you've got to be so patient with this stuff because this is what's going to get you caught out in the long run. Sometimes it's going to be a good thing, but other times it's not. We didn't really get too much movement on gold, but like I said, for me on gold, I'm waiting because the 4-hour is giving us two different the 4-hour and the 1-hour are giving us two completely different biases. Gold on the 4-hour is saying bullish. 1-hour you can see here is bearish. So I'm happy to trade the 1-hour because that's what I did this morning. I'm happy to trade the 1-hour, but we need the 1-hour high to be created. So because we extended really far, we're looking for it to potentially come up here, or if it then just continues up, breaks this high, then we're back into being bullish, which is what the 4-hour is saying. Then we can look for a pullback and enter on the pullback. So we got two options here for gold, but for me, I'm anything, if I'm just starting to just enter just because of momentum, just because I see everyone else enter, because we're seeing all these movements, that's not my rules. So for me, guys, if my rules mean I miss a trade, if I lose a trade, I don't really care. The rules is what keeps you in the game long term. It's not about winning. People get so confused. They think consistency means winning every day, and it's not. Can I get you UWU? What's that? US market is not open yet. Big movement will. The US market is open. It opens at 1 p.m. UK time. I'm also trying to trade 5 pairs, but I might stick with. Yeah, so Mon, definitely, if it's getting too overwhelming, I was doing very well just trading the one. You don't need to trade multiple if you don't want to. I'm seeing it go down after the pullback. Yes, so great. I gave you on gold 2 options. I will trade this moving down if we can create a high below this high, and we'll drop down to the lower time frames to start seeing that continuation. Then we can jump in. I don't know what UWU is. Yeah, amazing. So yeah, I trade all of those things apart from Bitcoin. Okay, let's see what's going on with my Euro USD. Oh my god, that is painful. But I'm very happy for Princess Rachel because I know she's in this trade. We did have to come out, and I couldn't obviously just jump back in because it moves so fast. Within that 2 minutes, when I could finally trade again, I'd be entering all the way up here. So yeah, so I've been trading close to 8 years, but for full transparency, guys, it's not been like a strict 8 years. Like my first 5 years, I was dabbling, I wasn't learning. My ego was too big. I kept going round and round in circles. So for 5 years, I wouldn't consider myself a trader at all. It's only been the last 2 years that I've really, really knuckled down. The last year has been, my kind of breakthrough. And yes, I do have multiple accounts, so I don't just trade on one account because for me that works better. It controls my impulsiveness. So for I think it's really, really important, guys, that you actually really start to understand yourself, because as a trader, you really do need to know yourself. I honestly don't know what's going on with my voice today. But I did a interview with someone that got a payout from ThinkCapital, and he was saying exactly the same thing. Like, honestly, you need to know yourself, because if you don't know yourself, you can't put things into place for for you to manage those emotions. A lot of people will just copy someone else rather than doing what works for them. So on the 1 hour now, so we can actually move this out like this. So maybe if we can get a pullback like that. But now we're just gonna have to be really really patient. So calm night. There's nothing you need to do. I'm just gonna pick someone out at random. Just make sure you're liking and sharing the stream. But I'm picking 3 people at random from the comments, and I'll do that in about 5-10 minutes time. Do you only trade one pair? Or so now I used to only trade gold, but now I trade gold, silver, NQ, and I trade Euro USD and GBP USD. So for me, this is more than enough, especially because they all move relatively similar. So usually when I'm getting a setup on gold, I'm getting a setup on silver, Nasdaq. When I was doing this with even more, I was like trying to enter all of these trades, and it was just getting too much. So I definitely don't advise overwhelming yourself by just trying to trade 10 different pairs. It's not necessary. So I was doing very well purely just trading gold. But yeah, so obviously, guys, now we've got to wait for this to all be over. Let's have a look at GBP USD. So on GU, it was quite interesting because obviously we were really moving down, but with the news, we have shot up. So does this mean now that we're going to push back up? Once this candle closes and we got that new low, we could potentially move that down like this. But yeah, for now we're just waiting. We're just waiting for this closure. But again, it's all about understanding market structure when we're taking our trades. A lot of people don't actually get this, and I think this is like the absolute basic fundamental stuff that you need to know about trading, being able to read market structure, because you need to know more than, are we going up or are we going down or are we going sideways. You need to know when to enter. So, if we're trending, you always want to be entering on some type of pullback. So right now, if this breaks to the upside, we know that it's in the extension. We've got two parts of market structure. We got the extension, then we got the pullback. That's, we don't want to be entering in the extension. We want to be entering in the pullback. So we just got to be really patient. And for me, market structure on the higher time frames are always going to be a lot stronger, but you can very much trade market structure on the lower time frames. You just have to be realistic about your goal. Some people that I know who trade market structure on like the 15-minute, for example, they're trying to hold out on, they've got a smaller stop loss because they're able to on the lower time frame, but then they're trying to aim for like the 1 hour high or the 4 hour high, and then they're always hitting stop loss. So if you're trading on those lower time frames and purely, trying to trade market structure on the lower time frame, then just make sure, you're going break even, your targets are sensible. Otherwise, you will just kind of get tapped out quite a bit. Entry is important. Yes, entry and execution is very important. Something that I've learned in my journey of 8 years is that a lot of us all know how to trade, but we're not very good at executing. And what I mean by that is our emotions really take over when we trade. So we know better, but we end up not doing better. And that's because we are basically triggered into fight or flight. So everyone is constantly always thinking about the strategy and not thinking about how to regulate their emotions and their nervous system, so they're not coming from a place of fight or flight. Because when you're in a state of panic, you're not going to make the right decisions. This is why when you backtest, when you use demo account, it's just so easy to trade because you're so relaxed, you're so chilled. You can see everything clearly. You're like, you can make loads of money on demo, but that's because you're in such a relaxed state that you can think clearly. And this is the stuff that people don't want to work on. They want to, come on to lives and learn from other people purely about strategy, but actually what keeps you in the game and what makes you profitable is your mindset. Okay, can this trend line be used on all pairs? Yeah. So for me, trend lines work really well on anything that has trends. So there's certain currencies that I find they literally move very sideways. So yeah, for me, I won't use trend lines on there, but anything that really gives you that good trend, just not back test, but like the trend lines are there as a guidance. They're you have to do so much more than just wait for a trend line break or wait for it to touch a trend line. And this is why a lot of traders don't really like trend lines, because people think you can only use trend lines and not understand all of the other things. And then this is what tips you out, because for example, if you was just to enter just a sell here, you'd get taken out very quickly. I know obviously it's news, but even so, I'm not going to enter my sell until we've had a pullback, and then this has happened, so I've stayed out of that trade. Whereas if you're just using trend lines, then you're going to have to be able to take every single trade to try and work out the numbers. Okay guys, thank you so much for sticking around. I'm gonna choose my 3 winners for this week. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't know why my voice always plays up on live. I'm not even ill. Okay, first winner goes to Sage. Congratulations. Sage, you are our first winner. Let me know if you're still here. I'm gonna just put this in the chat. Sage, you are our first winner. Congratulations. Okay, right. Second winner. Starboy. Starboy, you are our second winner. I saw Sage here. I feel like I saw you here. He put in hi. So Sage, you are our first winner. Starboy, you are our second winner. Congratulations, guys. And then our third winner for this week is Isolate X. Isolate X. Isolate X. I'm not too sure if he's still here because I haven't seen him or her respond. So if you don't respond, then we're gonna have to find someone else. I have to give it away to someone else. Are you here? Don't think he is because he's not responding, or him, her. Yeah, I don't know. I know Sage was here. I know Starboy's here. Isolate. Oh, yes, you are here. You're here. Isolate X, you are still here. Congratulations to my winners. Well done. Amazing, guys. I appreciate you all so much. So just to let you know how to get your account, all we need is your email address, but make sure you have already registered with ThinkCapital. So once you're registered with ThinkCapital, drop me a message on Instagram. It's just Doey Trades. So Doey Trades, and that is the Instagram. The only Instagram page is the one with the blue tick. So just drop me a message there. Sorry, Calm Night. I can see that you hate me. I pick you guys at random, you know. I don't know any of you, so it's not like I favor anyone. It's just complete at random, and I just appreciate, obviously, you guys here and supporting us. But yeah, so we want to see you guys succeed. But yeah, so drop me a message. But like I said, guys, we're probably going to wrap it up in a sec because we know what we're waiting for now. You know, gold didn't really do a lot, but you know, for me on gold, we're waiting for some type of direction. On the 1 hour, we're going to have to now wait for pullbacks on GBP, USD, NQ. Look at that big push up there. So, you know, we're just going to have to be patient and wait. But obviously, it is Friday. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend, and I will see you guys here next week. Sorry, Calm Night. Hopefully next week. Gray Joseph, be here next week. Have an amazing weekend and week, guys. Trade safely. See you later. Bye.